butthole naked.
Appropriate indecency.
And now, in Michael's ongoing rant, already in progress.
So, yeah, just pretty much nothing's off the table. If we're like close friends, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna fucking make fun of you. I'm gonna make fun of myself. You see, I even make fun of my own race. I'll make fun of white people. I'll make fun of stupid people. I'll make fun of, like, women. I'll make fun of men. Literally nothing is off the table to me. Nothing. But at the same time, like, okay, say if somebody's sitting there, they do like a racist joke. If it's funny, I'll be honest, I'll laugh a little bit. But if they just keep going, it's like, come on, dude. If you can't dunk it, fuck it.
Now we're going to go on to talk about our next nerd issue. I mean, we might as well just have an extension of Nerds or Us, wrestling. This has its own issue itself. We wanted to talk about HBK himself here. And I'll tell you, I'm as much of a nerd about HBK as I am Supernatural. But I'm just going to go on a brief tangent of why I like the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and think he's the best thing ever to happen to wrestling. He's just dynamic. He can be an awesome heel, a great face, more a better heel than anything. In my personal opinion, when it comes to wrestling, if you can sell yourself as a heel, you can sell yourself as anything. But you have to be a good heel. And one of the problems that I have with wrestling today, and I watch wrestling actively now. I took a 13-year or whatever. I stopped watching wrestling in 2005. I didn't start watching it again until late 2016, so went 11 and a half years without watching it. So, it took me a while to get caught up, but I got caught back up, and one of my gripes with wrestling now is that in lieu of competition, WWE specifically has forgotten how to captivate the fans. It's because they don't give enough time for character development. I mean, for instance, and I'll go on a brief rant about Roman Reigns, because everything's connected to HBK in this way, is that HBK, they did it right with him. He was a heel for the longest time. First, he had been a face when they first came into WWE. Actually, I think the Rockers actually kind of started out as heels, but, I mean, first he was a face, and the Rockers betrayed his tag team partner. He had the best heel turn of all time. I still maintain that in a way. Well, actually, no. I have to say Hulk Hogan had the best heel turn of all time. But still, at least HBK had the second best. Because he turned on Marty Jannetty, the super kick in the barbershop episode. That was epic. I mean, almost nothing beats that moment. That was at least the first experience of betrayal in a lot of ways for people of my generation. Seeing HBK betray Marty Jannetty. So that kicked off Shawn Michaels being a heel for like 4 years or so, and he had an extended heel run, and then in 1995 it switched. The fans were in favor of him, they loved him, and they pushed him to become world champion.
Butthole naked.
Butthole naked. If she bent over, you're seeing brown eye.
Not just naked, butthole naked.
Butthole naked.
But then, see, there's a major difference with HBK in 1996 when he was world champion, and the fans started to turn on him. And I'm going to come back to that moment here in a second, because I want to talk for a second about the problem with WWE and wrestling now. And Michael can elaborate on this briefly when he comes to his comments. The problem with wrestling now, like, for instance, John Cena. I at first loved John Cena. I was a big fan of his when he was a heel. He was a heel. He was a great job at a heel. He'd rap and mock the fans. That was perfect.
He's nuts.
I love heels, and I always have since I was a kid. But John Cena sold the heel good. He became a good guy, and I was a fan of his for like a year when he was a good guy. But then he won the world championship, and it was okay for a moment, but he came out with the Spinner World Championship. I wasn't a real big fan of that, but then the fans started turning on him, and WWE just kept ramming him down everyone's throats. For a decade or so, they kept him as a face, despite the fact that half of the fans, within a year of Cena being world champion, the fans were turning against him. Michael's next segment here is his next contribution of I Hate Having Balls. In this edition of I Hate Having Balls, Michael will discuss summer nuts.
All right. Okay. Just like last time, every guy listening to this knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. See, I have this little special case of summer nuts because, once again, I have a huge sack. The shit swangs down. Swangs. Like, floods the entire pants type swang. Well, no. Okay, summer nuts. I love summer. I fucking love summer. But the one thing I hate about it is the heat. And I hate that the heat makes your fucking balls sag. I swear to Jesus, dude, I fucking hate it. Like, okay, let me go back and emphasize on how droopy my sack is. I am afraid for when I get older because I'm afraid I'm going to step up and try to get out of bed and I'm going to step right on my balls. I'm afraid that I'm going to grow up to be one of them guys that you just see nuts hanging out of, like, calf-length shorts. Like, fucking some high-water short. Like, you're just going to see my balls hanging out. I'm going to have to use my scrotum as a goddamn belt at some point in my life. That's how fucking low they hang right now. And I'm a young man. So when I'm like 80, they're going to be down at my ankle. I'm going to stuff them in my shoes. But no.
Grandpa Michael with his scrotum belt and his clam jam sandwich.
I'm going to fucking own a ranch and I'm going to make my fucking scrotum into a goddamn lasso. Or wrestle me up some cattle. But no. Summer nuts. See, I walk to work. I walk a good 42 minutes to work. It can be like 38 to 42 minutes. So, as I'm walking, I'm getting fucking assaulted by the sun. Just completely fucking bitch smacked by our local star. And while that's happening, my balls just droop so low. And it's so annoying because you gotta rearrange yourself. I've gotten to the point that I don't fucking care. If I'm outside and my balls and shit are just fucking tangled and mangled, I'm going to grab them and move them. I'm going to stick my hand in my fucking pants and move my shit around. I don't fucking care. If you don't like it, you don't have to look. If you like it, stare ahead. I don't give a fuck. But the other thing about summer nuts is, once again, every guy can fucking get this. Your balls stick to your goddamn leg. It is the most oversaid thing, but it is the worst fucking thing about having balls. Well, one of the worst things about having balls. Like, you sit on them, you fucking have them stick to your leg. They're sensitive. Fucking, dude, somebody brushes up against you, like, you're fine for, like, 2 seconds, and then it hits you. And, like, balls are horrible. Like, ladies, you have it good. You don't have sacks. You have tits, which, from what I know, this can get pretty annoying, too. But just thank the Lord above that you do not have those tits in between your legs. You don't walk and have your fucking walking pattern fucked up because your tit is on your thigh. Like, it's annoying. See, this is the reason why I wear baggy fucking pants, because my shit can... and if you have a big sack, your shit goes down like one fucking pant leg, and it's like just a bunch of balls just stuffed against your fucking right thigh, and you're just sitting there, you're trying to do like this Elvis Presley walk to like just shake it off your fucking leg. That's probably why that motherfucker did that dance. He wasn't dancing, he was just trying to get his balls off his leg. Fucking turning me into a hound dog real quick. I'm whining over my balls sticking on my leg. I really hate having balls. I truly fucking hate having balls. wanted to have him stay as a face, but they kept him as
They kept him as a face for all that time because they had this preconceived notion that he was going to be the next Hulk Hogan.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was about to say.
He was going to be the next Hulk Hogan or the next Rock, but more Hulk Hogan than the Rock.
Definitely.
And
Hulk Hogan and the Rock.
but they wanted him to basically be the show. They wanted the show to be all about John Cena in a way. And they're doing the same thing now with Roman Reigns.
They were trying to make him the next big patriotic hero.
Yes, just like Hulk Hogan during the early 90s and late 80s.
If you remember correctly, he started off with this salute thing after he became a face. And he would come down to the ring, he would always do that salute, which he still does to this day sometimes.
And I don't even have a problem with the salute thing. My issue is that they had an opportunity to turn him heel. They didn't. And they just kept him as a face. And there's been some fans have been kind of coming back around to Cena in a way, but it took forever, in part because of the fact that what it took for Cena to have fans coming back to him was that he went away for a while. Fans didn't have to endure him. And he also started losing matches. But back in the mid-thousands, mid to late thousands, he was winning everything. He could never be beat. They basically tried to make him as a new Hulk Hogan to where he was just invincible. And in this day and age, that just doesn't work. And they've tried the same thing with Roman Reigns. And honestly, I liked Roman Reigns at first, but they've ruined him. The man is not dynamic at all. But now they're just repeating all the same mistakes they did with Cena. Right now, Roman Reigns has a perfect opportunity to turn heel, but they won't because Vince is like convinced that he's supposed to be the future, and it's just. But back to what I was going to say about HBK is that when that moment was turning on HBK, he turned heel. And this is late 1996, Survivor Series 96. He was defending the world title against Psycho Sid. And the fans had turned against Shawn Michaels at this point. And they put the title on Sid. The fans popped for Sid winning the title.
Which Sid wasn't supposed to be a face.
Yeah, Sid was a heel. And he won the world title, and the fans, they popped for him. They exploded with happiness. And you can see Shawn Michaels actually turning on, he saw that the fans were turning on him because there was one point where he was going to put the figure 4 on Sid, and the fans were booing him, and he spit at them. And Shawn Michaels, of course, during this time in his life was very cocky and stuff, and he's changed a lot since then. But the perfect thing is that they actually turned HBK heel briefly for like 2 months. And then the fans came back to Shawn Michaels' corner. But then, the next year, he went through this whole phase. In 1997, he went through a brief phase of being a face again. But then in 97 came Shawn Michaels' best transition ever to being a heel. He knew the fans had not been completely wrapped up in his corner. A lot of the fans were more fans of Bret Hart than what they were of Shawn Michaels. So they turned him heel, and DX was born. So I have a left field question here. And I'm telling you, it's like way out there. I mean, I put some pressure on myself on the spot at this. But, what would you do if you woke up one day and you were almost entirely nubs?
Well, like fucking arms gone, legs gone.
Everything is nubs.
Dick gone too?
All you have is a head.
I'm just a fucking head?
With nubs.
With nubs? Just a neck nub?
Yeah.
I'm neck nubbing up?
Neck nubbing up.
I guess try to swallow my fucking tongue and kill myself, because, like, the fuck kind of life is that? I don't know, if, maybe you brought some, really stacked bitch around, and, once again, I say bitch with all respect. You brought some stacked bitch around, respect. And, had her, flash me her titties or some shit, put my face in her ass or something, I don't know, maybe I'd be happy. But if I'm just living life, just a fucking neck and head.
Well, you're a neck and head with a collection of nubs.
With a collection of nubs. So I just have a bunch of knots in my neck, I guess? I'm fucking Not a neck head dude? Like, what the fuck? What? Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Am I a fucking head and a neck, or am I a head, neck, torso, and nubs?
I think it's the head, neck, torso, nubs. That's what I meant.
Okay, I was about to say, for one, if I was just a neck and head, there's no living. There's no possibility of living.
Unless your heart's like in your throat.
Yeah.
All that other good shit.
All your fucking vital organs are in your neck.
Just shitting out of the bottom of your neck.
Oh, that'd be fucked up.
Right.
The smell would hit you immediately. There would be no traveling. You would smell it there.
The strain on your neck from pushing your shit.
There would be no strain. You would swallow your food and immediately shit. You'd swallow poop. That's exactly what would happen. There would be no fucking... This left field question has gone really left field.
Right.
By the way. I don't know. Is my dick nubbed, or do I still have my dick?
Everything is nubbed.
So, I got a nub dick. I'd fucking kill myself. I'd fucking kill myself.
It was like all your nubs
No dick is no life.
I mean, all your nubs look like something out of Mario. You know?
Oh, God. I think I'd fucking kill myself. If I had no dick, no arms, no legs, I'd fucking kill myself. I'd try to fucking kill myself. I would nub walk to the closest fucking cliff and just jump. Well, I would nub off, I guess. I can't nub off anyways. I got no dick, I guess. Just a fucking partial shaft. God, that'd be horrible.
Thank you.
What would you do?
What would I do? I mean, probably the same thing.
Just nub off a cliff.
Nub off a cliff. I mean, that still sounds very wrong. I don't want to nub off any cliff. I want to nub off anything. But anyways, moving on. One of the best factions of all time. And that, arguably, they saved Shawn Michaels' career so many times because he turned heel when the time was right. And the fans now, every time they see Shawn Michaels, they pop for him. Why? Because he's the man. But it wasn't just Shawn Michaels.
WrestleMania.
It's not just him. Other wrestlers too, but Shawn Michaels was the master of being able to turn from heel to face and have the fans wrapped up around his finger. I'll let Michael talk for a moment.
I don't know. I grew up watching Shawn Michaels, and I saw my big brother Daniel. He popped for him so much, and I loved a lot of wrestlers back when I was a kid. Like, I watched all the old, like, style wrestling. Like, I kind of like Lex Luthor. Oh my God, Luger. I always say his name wrong. Lex Luger. I love Randy Savage. Randy Savage is one of my all-time favorites. I loved watching his old matches with Hulk Hogan and just a whole bunch of fucking legends. But Shawn Michaels has always taken the cake for me. His ring presence alone, his in-ring performance is just undoubtable. His promos are amazing. Literally, the man could do it all. I don't know. Like, I always loved the DX thing. To me, it was just a fucking rib crusher. Like, I always laughed so hard when I watched Triple H and Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, fucking...
Rib crusher. Shouldn't that be a nickname that you'd try to call yourself?
No, okay, I ain't gonna get that far right now, because that's a different segment. No. I like, Mr. Ass, fucking X-Pac... all these guys, I loved watching them. There's the best, in my opinion, the best faction. The only faction that ever came close was the, oh my God.
The NWO?
Well, kinda the NWO, but no, the, Ministry of Dark, Ministry of Darkness, right?
Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah, Ministry of Darkness. I wanted to make sure I got that right. It's been fucking years. I don't watch wrestling really much anymore, but...
Mostly because you lost your love for it.
I did. Like, I did have it. I watched it even further what Daniel did, Like, I watched it all the way until, I want to say, 2009, 2008? Yeah, 2008, 2009.
Because that was around the peak of Edge's career.
Yeah, because Edge, he was also another big pop for me. I've always loved Edge all the way back to when he was in The Brood. When he first started, really. Not when he first started, but when he first started being called Edge. And I really loved watching him in the ring, along with Christian, along with the Hardy Boys. Like, there's so many wrestlers I can mention, but nothing tops the list more than Shawn Michaels for me. Shawn Michaels will always be my favorite wrestler, and it's not just, oh, that's my childhood. No, when he stepped into the ring, you fucking knew it was going to be a good show, because he could put over the person that he was wrestling against really well. He could be put over very well. Like, one of my favorite matches was the Survivor Series that him and Triple H had. That it wasn't TLC, was it? The street fight. There it is. SummerSlam. There it is. Daniel remembers the shit a lot better than me, but it was SummerSlam of what, 2000? Yeah. I wanted to say. Yeah, because that whole fucking feud, because they were making it seem like they were bringing back DX, and like Triple H and him were in the middle of the ring, and like Triple H did this thing where he pointed at him like Scott Hall used to do at Kevin Nash. Little hints back towards the Click, where Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac, or Six Pack, or the 1-2-3 Kid, whatever you wanted to call him, they were in that little Click thing. But Scott Hall used to point at Kevin Nash when he came down the ringside with him, and Triple H went to do that in the middle of the ring while Shawn Michaels did his little pose thing that he usually did, and he kicked him and fucking pedigreed him. That was such a good turn, because you're sitting there, you're like, fucking DX is back, fucking DX is back, and the next thing you know, fucking Triple H turns on him, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, this motherfucker, and like, they did like a good heel turn, because once again, I'm not going to get into this because we're gonna get into it next time, probably, maybe, because I have a couple ideas of what our next nerdy wrestling conversation could be, but Triple H could also do a good heel. He's amazing heel. Shawn Michaels, that's one of the reasons why they're in the fucking Click. They all that are within the Click can do an amazing heel turn. And that's what I miss in wrestling. The good heel turns, the great heel turns, the fucking good face turns. Because if you can't turn from a heel to a face in a spectacular fucking show.
Fans eat up.
Exactly. If you can't just capture that moment with the fans, then what are you? You're just, I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking explain it. You're just a fucking shitty performer, a fucking shitty fucking actor on fucking some.
That's what you're doing, is you're acting.
Exactly.
You gotta learn how to act right.
But Triple H, he really sold that heel turn, and it really set the stage for that fucking feud. And Shawn Michaels played it very well, because Michaels, I think, went out for like a month or so, because Triple H also hit him with that sledgehammer after that, and then because he was in that wheelchair, and then he ended up coming in on a promo after one of Triple H's matches, if I remember correctly, and he like shows him he's in a wheelchair and he's talking to Triple H, and then he just shows like a sledgehammer. He brings out a sledgehammer and he stands up, and he's like talks about like how he's coming for Triple H and shit, and then they had that amazing fucking match. Like, I want to look up the match after we end up doing this.
That's also the beginning of that you came to me in a dream last night. That's where that song came from, was that feud.
Yeah. It was like that feud was so fucking amazing. Like, not to mention the fucking casket match between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. That fucking match was amazing. The match that broke Shawn Michaels' back, and he still finished it. He still finished the fucking match with the
entire match with Steve Austin at WrestleMania.
Yes, he even after a broken back, he still kept coming back, and he still kept doing matches.
Sorry, you can't get dedication like that from wrestlers now.
No, you can't. Like Austin, he broke his fucking neck and still was coming back. He was still performing. No, he shouldn't have been. That could have very well ended his fucking life. What was it? A power driver by Owen Hart that did it? Yeah.
An inverted pile driver that
Yep.
went wrong, terribly wrong.
Yeah, and like, it's like you don't get dedication nowadays that you do. On that level, like so many superstars you hear about, they got so fucked up back in the day, but they just would not quit. Like Michaels, he wouldn't quit until his tenure as what he was supposed to be. I think he only took like how long did he take off? After a while of still performing, like it was like a few months. He still performed for like a couple months, and then he went on a break for only a few months, maybe a year or so.
Shawn Michaels went through a number of breaks, but
but he came back and he was always amazing, and he was always able to put over his opponent, but he was always able to make the crowd pop. Yeah, the crowd, they sometimes hated him, but he was such a good performer that he could put on a show that made them excited, that made them want more.
Right.
That's the reason. He's the whole damn show for a fucking reason. Oh wait, that's fucking RVD's thing. But whatever.
Right. He's a showstopper.
He's a showstopper. He's the fucking man. He's that damn good. He's fucking amazing. Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels, is, in our opinion, the best in the business. And nobody will ever be able to amount to Shawn Michaels. The only man that I've ever thought that could fucking reach even a smidge of what Shawn Michaels was and is in the business is, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, I even was kind of reluctant to believe it myself, but I saw a light in this man, and I still do see a possibility, even though I don't watch WWE anymore. I do see a possibility of this man if he really puts his heart into it, and WWE lets it fucking happen.
Talking about?
Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a possibility of this man actually becoming this generation's version of Shawn Michaels, but they did not. They didn't push him hard enough.
Building him a little bit right now.
See, just like I said, I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, he's.
But I feel like they were. I felt like they were starting to tread towards that.
Yeah, he's involved in a tag team with Drew McIntyre, and they're on a mission to bring back the intensity to WWE. That's what they claim. They say that the whole locker room become too soft, and so their goal is to rev everyone up. But
hopefully they do what happened with the Rockers.
Right.
Kind of like a callback.
Well, they probably will, but they'll probably end up using it to push McIntyre over Ziggler, which could very well help Ziggler by making him face. But I think Ziggler may have reached a point in his career to where he's going to be pushing people more than he's going to get pushed. Either way, they dropped an epic opportunity to make Ziggler an actual star, an icon. So,
they could have done it.
And I don't think.
He had so many fucking opportunities, but they just would not.
Right. I just don't think that the time, unfortunately, is with him because, obviously, he's aging.
A long time to get
it took Shawn Michaels from the 1980s until the mid to late 90s. So, I mean, it's within the time frame for Dolph. It's just they haven't been pushing him right. They pushed him too fast, too soon, and then they didn't captivate the moment because the fans were really with him.
Wasn't he in that stupid-ass faction?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one squad or whatever it was. Spirit Squad, yeah.
I fucking hated that so much.
Yeah, but we're going to actually conclude this part of the conversation. We will have plenty of geeky wrestling conversations in the future.
Which we can have hours.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, is having another multi-hour long wrestling conversation.